Welcome back to Simple Tech School, where IT becomes simple. In our last episodes, we talked about hardware and software, two important parts of every computer system. But today we're going to talk about something that sits right in the middle of both. That thing is called firmware. So what exactly is firmware? Think of firmware as the permanent instructions built directly into a device's hardware. It tells the hardware how to start, how to operate, and how to communicate with other parts of the system. Unlike regular software that you install on your computer, firmware is stored inside the device itself, usually in a small memory chip. In simple terms, firmware is software that lives inside hardware. For example, when you press the power button on your computer, the operating system like Windows or Mac OS is not the first thing that runs. First, the computer runs firmware. The firmware checks that the CPU, memory, keyboard, and other hardware are working correctly. Then it prepares the system and tells the computer where to find the operating system. A common example of firmware in computers is called BIOS or UEFI. This firmware starts your computer and helps load the operating system. But firmware is not just in computers. Many everyday devices use firmware, such as routers, printers, smartphones, smart TVs, game consoles. These devices all rely on firmware to control how the hardware behaves. Another important thing about firmware is that it usually doesn't change often. Most firmware is designed to stay stable for long periods. However, manufacturers sometimes release firmware updates to improve performance, fix bugs, or patch security vulnerabilities. For example, updating router firmware can improve network security and performance. Without firmware, your hardware wouldn't even know how to start. If this made sense, you're officially learning IT. Like the video, share it with someone starting from zero, and subscribe to Simple Tech School.